Treyarch just released a brand new teaser trailer for the last map of Black Ops 6 Zombies. Today we're going to be breaking it down as well as the other two teaser trailers and finding things that no one else has talked about yet. Everything from perk machines, box locations, to an original 935 teleporter, the brand new boss zombie, the potential for a grapple hook, and potentially a buildable pack-a-punch. Let's get started. We're going to start with the brand new teaser. As you can see here, we got Janus Security dragging out some survivors. You hear somebody in the background, I think it might be Panos, saying, "I intend to purge you thoroughly," although it could be someone else talking about like this boss zombie right here, because that appears to be Klaus. Let's break this down. First, let's start with that quote that we heard.
"I intend to purge you thoroughly."
I intend to purge you thoroughly. Now, right off the bat, that to me sounds like Panos, and who could he be talking to about purging? Well, I think he might be talking to Sam, because Sam is doing all of this stuff in Janus Towers and Liberty Falls and all these things. He's like, I'm gonna purge you. I'm gonna get you out of this system permanently. Or thoroughly. Very interesting story implications there. Editing Donuts here. After listening to this quote, this could also be coming straight from mecha-klaus here, and he could be talking about the Janus security guards. That being said, I really don't think this voice sounds like Klaus to me, but it very well could be. But now let's take this frame by frame. Let's rewind all the way back to the beginning. And if you ask me, this is really hard to make out compared to the other two. We're in this room, and right as soon as we start, I don't know, that almost to me looks like the quick revive machine, so this might be like the spawn room, even though I know the quick revive's not in the spawn room anymore. But if we move forward, we see this bright spot, and it kind of looks like a teleporter, like we've seen throughout the Dark Ether storyline, but you can kind of see, especially when it's in color, it's got that reddish hue, it's got the black kind of Dark Ether / Prima Materia, I don't know what they're going for, rim around the edge, and then the bright center. As we move forward, we could see some bodies on the ground, we could see this security guard or whoever dragging this other security guard here. Big open room. I tried to see anything there. It doesn't look like I can make anything out. That might be a crafting table, to be honest, but I don't see much here until we move forward. We're obviously using the XM4. We see another body on the ground. But right here, you can see this is T1, probably for Tower 1. We are Janus Security at 10:48 in the morning. As we're going to see in the other clips, there's more security coming in the evening. So I suspect these POVs are the POVs of multiple different Janus security guards, like over and over trying to get control of the situation. Clearly, this is one of the inactive teleporters, and this is probably going to be used to teleport between Tower 1 and Tower 2 and Tower 3, or however many towers there are. If I were to guess, I would say this might be the starting room, because if this is a teleporter to the actual security, this is outside, this might be where we end up coming from. We might make a big circle to the Tower 2, Tower 3, and then come back here, but I don't know, that's all just speculation. But then we cut again to inside the towers. I believe that's a zombie. No, that's not a zombie. That's a security on the ground with some sort of gun. I don't know exactly what it is. I haven't been breaking down these guns. We'll see him eventually with the roadmap. But right here, you can see a very clear picture of a mystery box location and the Juggernaut machine. So this is going to be playable in the map, and this does worry me a little bit. This does say 12:34 in the afternoon, and there is a bright light on the ground, so you can see it's definitely daytime. And in the other teasers, I suspect that this is going to take place at night, because if Liberty Falls was in the morning, in the afternoon, Shattered Veil was in the evening, and then this would be at night. It looks like that might not be the case anymore, because this looks like sunlight to me, which is very disappointing if you ask me. And aside from that, there's nothing much. There are some stairs moving up here to the second area, and this room seems to be centered around this thing, which we'll get a much clearer picture. I try to see, looks like some doorways, maybe an elevator, because we're playing on Janus Towers. Maybe there'll be an elevator like there was on Shattered Veil sort of thing, maybe with a zip line. But as we move closer, it looks as though we might see like some sort of robotics, because now we have the brand new boss. I'm guessing this is going to be an elite enemy. This is, if we move forward, mecha-klaus, all but confirmed here. That is definitely a Klaus-like figure. And I looked at the Panzer Soldat from Der Eisendrache and Origins, and I looked at the Krasny Soldat from Cold War, and this appears to be a very different design. We've got two orbs, which I imagine is going to be like Klaus's weak spots here. Two orbs right there. I bet you Shatter Blast is going to be weak too, or Shatter Blast is going to be effective, but we've got fists. All the other Panzers had special different things on their hands from either a cannon or a flamethrower, but both of his hands are fists. So this might be a purely melee elite enemy, which is great. I don't know. Maybe he'll have rockets or these electric things will spark and shoot at you. Who knows how this is going to work, but he has a melee attack right there because he takes out this operator. And that's really it. But you can see behind mecha-klaus here, we've got a 3D model, an actual like sculpture of something of either Sam or that containment chamber. But if you look at the Project Janus logo, that is basically what's in the center of it. So hopefully this map really dives into all of the Janus Towers, Project Janus tomfoolery that Richtofen has been up to and really what this project has been about. Now, as exciting as this teaser is with the mecha-klaus in here, I am happy that I assume this is going to play very differently than any Panzer or Krasny Soldat that we've had before. I think that's good. A unique boss zombie. Thank you so much, Treyarch. That's so good. I hope the robots that we see later are part of the special enemies. I think that'd be really cool. But believe me, this teaser, in my opinion, is not the most exciting one. It's exciting for Klaus, but the other two teasers we got are really exciting. And I broke those down before I saw this because Treyarch just released this. So this is like breaking news that I'm covering. I have so much more information about the other two teasers, but just so you know, I recorded those breakdowns before this breakdown. So let's get to those. The first one we're going to be breaking down is this one. These are both from a POV shot of somebody we don't know. Obviously, you can see there's some dark etherness afoot, and then we get eaten by a zombie. This is the second one we're going to be going over, some sort of production line, and then we see this huge beam here with the pack-a-punch at the back. We get sucked up into this thing, we fall down out of it, and there you go. So let's run through these and show you everything that I see. So first and foremost, we have a Project Janus embroiderment on the ground right there. We get some zombies. I looked at this. We do see some robots in the future, but I think those are regular zombies. We get a Project Janus. I don't know if you can really tell because this looks like a lobby. That looks like a table or a office thing right there. There's a little bit of space back there for a separate room. There's a big, obviously, walk space up here. Hopefully you guys can kind of see this footage is really grainy. Obviously it's on purpose. We've got this welcoming desk with a Project Janus emblem right there. You can see this is Janus Security. So this very well may be Blanchard. This is taking place at, what is it? It looks like 1:52 in the morning. Definitely in the morning because I think we've seen this use military time. So I think this is going to take place at night, which is really cool. Liberty Falls take place in the morning, Shattered Vale kind of in the evening, and then obviously Janus Towers or the Reckoning or whatever they're going to call this taking place at night. I think that's a really fun little thing. You can see we've got a crawler on the ground, and these two zombies are very familiar to us. Those are the two zombies that usually eat things. In the map itself, what we do see is something fall down, a body fall down on this right here. Now this to me looks like this is leaking a gas, and there's like box with like another body just laying in right there. I don't know if that's just going to be part of the intro, but obviously that explodes when that zombie falls on it. It doesn't look, I'm here to point out everything that I see. And to me, that kind of looks like a little bit of a crater inside of the floor right there, or something used to be there. I don't know. But it looks like when you specifically look at this zombie's legs, it looks like it's inside of the ground just a tiny little bit. I don't know. Now, after this, we take a look up. Obviously, we're still in this big room with some rafters, and I want you to remember these beams right here because they will come into play, as well as this circular lighting panel. We could see another body falling down from that hole. There's fire going on. Obviously, there's zombies afoot. Some bad stuff's happening, but then the video is going to cut. We're going to come back about, however many minutes later. What is that? 228 from 152. So it's like 36 minutes later. You can see we're looking down to where I think we just were. There's these beams right there, the flame going on in that very similar area, right? So I think the leaks about the grapple hook are true. And I think we're going to be able to grapple up here, and they just cut that out. And then boom, here you go. We've grappled up here. We're climbing the tower. Now on top of the tower, we have these beautiful dark ether. Oh my goodness, look at this. The dark ether fungi and flora from the tomb. It's spilling over into the overworld. But if we pull back just a little bit, you could see a glimpse of an ammo crate right here. And what I believe to be another platform. There's a computer panel, which is important. And you can see, oh, that's a little bit clear of a picture. There's the ammo crate and the computer panel with some growths of the dark ether. Now this right here, a lot of people say that that is a brand new perk machine. To me, that looks like Melee Macchiato. Hopefully I'm throwing it up on screen. You guys can kind of see the comparison, but that inner triangle right there, that looks like the Melee Macchiato, like where the display case of Melee Macchiato. And then it looks like this hallway continues down. That might even look like a crafting table to me. I'm not entirely sure, but we get this beautiful dark ether spilling into the overworld, sort of like Forsaken. But now I think this is a great shot of whatever this thing is. Now, a lot of people on Reddit, on Twitter, even in my comment section have said this looks like a teleporter from 935. Group 935 was the first ones delving into all of the 115 stuff back in the original storyline. And with these cables hooked up to this thing with the dark ether growth, like all these mushrooms growing out of it, I'm going to throw up a picture of the teleporter that I have, and I'm going to let you be the judge. I can kind of see it, honestly, with this little thing in the middle, this front panel with all the things connected to it, and the fact that it's Richtofen and they're not afraid of using the dark ether stuff, you know, pulling from the dark ether to make stuff here. I don't know. I think it could be there. Now, in terms of spacing, we did just say that this is a platform and this was an ammo crate. So it might just be a motif. It might not be the exact teleporter, but it could be kind of a new teleporter, but, you know, resembling the old one. And this is a big standing area. It's just really hard to make out. Is this whole platform the teleporter, or is it leading up to with this computer panel? It makes me think, oh, we're going to interact with that to do something. I don't know. But then we get a little bit of a cut. We get a zombie. There's nothing too much here. We could see a doorway we're probably going to need to buy with some more mushrooms. The ether mushrooms. I don't know if it's this shot. Yeah, there you go. This is a little shot of one of those kind of seedlings we saw both in the tomb as well as what we needed to collect in Shattered Veil, but it looks a little taller. So it looks like, you know, the environment is growing around it, like it's been here a little bit longer than what we might have thought. But then, you know, whoever person gets eaten, I don't know if it's Blanchard. We did see that these guys are wearing gloves, and I looked in the Liberty Falls intro cutscene, and unfortunately, Blanchard is not wearing gloves. So, I mean, maybe fortunately, this isn't Blanchard getting eaten right here. But that's not all we have for this first video. We have a character quote, and it is by Blanchard, and he says,
Listen to me. Can't you trust this man?
Listen to me. Can you trust this man? At least that's what I hear. I know a lot of other people have heard a lot of different things, but that's what I hear. Now, there's a lot of talk about who he's talking to. He's probably talking to this like regular Janus security person, but it's weird because he knows that he can't trust Panos, and Panos is from Liberty Falls. So he knows he can't trust Panos, so he wouldn't be talking to Panos. He wouldn't be talking to Sam because Sam's the one who started the thing in the mansion. He might be talking to Richtofen, but then what man is he talking about to Richtofen? Like Weaver? I don't know. Very, very interesting stuff. I love this stuff about zombies. This is so good. Now let's move on to the second clip. And you know what? Let's start with the audio.
Look at you. Connecting the dots all on your own.
We get Panos immediately saying, look at you connecting the dots all on your own. I think he's saying that in response to Blanchard. Blanchard is like frustrated, flustered, trying to figure this out. And there's Panos sitting there pretty like, yes, look at you finally figuring out what I've been doing all along. What's interesting is we have Panos, who we don't know is working for or with Samantha. He could be working for those Shadowsmiths we saw back in Modern Warfare 3. We have Sam, who's independently working, and now we have Richtofen coming in independently working, hopefully pairing up with Blanchard. There's a lot of different factions going on here. I'm really excited. They nailed the Forsaken ending and the Modern Warfare 3 ending for that matter. So this is exciting. This is an exciting time to be a zombie fan. But this clip, oh, I love this clip. We're Janus Security again. We are now, what is it, like 9:12 in the morning? It looks like there might have been more than one team going into this, like over and over and over again. Or another weird theory is that maybe there's some time travel involved here, some weird dark ether effects on our strike team. But we'll talk about that later. We see this like pile of robot bodies, bunch of heads, bunch of body parts, and you can see we're on this like rail system, kind of a conveyor belt. That's what it is with these robot arms, you know, assembling all of these things. So hopefully these are the new like special enemy type. That'd be super cool. It was leaked that we'd have some sort of quote unquote mecha-klaus, which just sounds so sick. I would love that. We have an obvious robot / mannequin body sparking up there. Moving forward, we are now back at 5:14 5:14 in the morning. Does it say 5:14? This says 9, doesn't it? So 9 o'clock here and then going forward to 5 o'clock, or maybe I'm just reading that wrong. Is it 5 o'clock? I don't know. It looks like 9 to me, and then this looks like 5:14. Maybe it's 5. Maybe it's 5. I'll let you guys decide, but this is a brand new room. This is what I imagine the Pack-a-Punch room is going to be. We have these two, I don't know, particle accelerators, whatever they're going to sci-fi call this, but I want you to pay attention to this bright white light here and these two cross beams, this like scissor lift. Believe me, it comes into play here. We have this portal sort of like we had in the Forsaken. You can see it's charging up. It goes from like a small yellow beam to a bright blue beam. Something activates. You'll see there's another teleporter right here, little minor detail. And right here, this is important. Look at the framing of this room because it changes. Looking in front of this teleporter with this scissor lift, we have what appears to me to be a regular portal that we've used on like Firebase C, and we just saw in Shattered Veil right here, and the Pack-a-Punch machine. But it looks like the Pack-a-Punch machine is missing that inside of it, that inner, like, I don't know, almost looks like a jet engine type of thing. And I think that's what this is right here. So we might need to reassemble the Pack-a-Punch machine. I don't know. And the reason I say that is because when we take a look at this and we move forward, we are going to accidentally fall into this. So either this thing is sucking us up or it's doing some weird anti-gravity thing. We're going into this beam and we're going into it at 5:14:37. We go into it and we leave it at 5:15:41. So we fall for a good minute there. Now that could just be a continuity issue, but I don't know. This is all pretty insane. We fall down, we sit back up, and there's the Pack-a-Punch machine. But this scissor thing has fallen down. And to me, this looks like it's changed location, right? Like the Pack-a-Punch being here. I think, right, when we take a look at this, we rewind back. Shouldn't the Pack-a-Punch be here? But it's right here. So maybe the Pack-a-Punch is also, oh, look at that. You know what? The Pack-a-Punch is floating right there, isn't it? Maybe this is the Pack-a-Punch machine, like, quest. It's totally floating right there, dude. Look at that. Look at that in motion. See if you can see it. Oh, it's so hard to tell. It looks like it's floating to me. Oh, but then maybe we activate it. We fall in somehow, maybe some time travel stuff. And then all of a sudden, boop, there's the Pack-a-Punch machine. This walkway has fallen. You can see that's changed since the before times, right? Look at that. That's that same sort of scissor lift platform with the little railing on the side, yellow railing on the side. We fast forward, fall down, and boom, there it is. Railing on the side, railing on the side. Look at that. And the Pack-a-Punch looks fully assembled here. And I'm going to play this in motion because it also looks like the Pack-a-Punch has some little misty smoke around it, sort of like the Dark Ether with Sam. And in motion, this really looks like the Pack-a-Punch is settling down. This could be some weird gravity. This could be some weird Dark Ether, but here it is in motion. Take a look at that Pack-a-Punch machine. It looks like it's settling down, or it could be sort of like from Terra Maledicta. Oh no, the Archon where it was kind of like out of phase. It was out of phase in D Machina too, but look at that. It's almost like it's settling down. So I don't know. This could be a more, I guess, theatrical or cinematic Pack-a-Punch quest than we're used to. But look at that. I seriously think it gets pulled into here, maybe self-assembles, and then we go through it, and then it settles down. Especially because it looks like there are other particles just floating in the air. And when we're falling, I think this is just a visual thing, but breaking it down frame by frame, you could see like one frame of this like purple orb. I think that's just like a lens camera flare right there. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It looks pretty fun. But as we're falling, we see some like stuff, some debris in the air that could just be it settling down. But I think there's some weird gravity stuff going on here. And last thing I do want to mention, our hand here, it kind of looks really shiny and clean to me. So I was like, oh, is this a robot hand? I think that's just his glove. But I did have the thought, and you never know how crazy zombies is going to be. So if this thing does turn us into a zombie or turn us into a robot, because this factory here is building robots, we know Sam wants a robot body. So maybe this Janus security guard, maybe this is how they're turning people into robots. They're like taking their life essence, they do some stuff, and then boom, now all of a sudden you're a robot with a robot hand. But then again, like I said, I think that's just a glove. And yeah, that's what I got for you. Now I apologize. I know I'm gonna get a comment of like, oh, how long this video is, just breaking down like 2 10-second teasers of stuff. But like, this is what zombies is about. I love breaking this stuff down. I love looking at this. Part of the community is getting excited over all of these crazy details. breaking him down frame by frame, and it's okay to be excited over this stuff. So hopefully I uncovered some stuff for you that you didn't see. What did you guys see that I didn't see? And are you guys excited? I'm probably gonna post this early because there might be a brand new teaser out there already, maybe even an intro cutscene. Oh, please let there be an intro cutscene. But if you're interested in even more Black Ops 6 Zombies content to hold you over until the reckoning, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.